Becoming a morning person has nothing to do with what you do in the morning and has everything to do with what you do at night. This is the simple yet super effective nighttime routine that finally allowed me to become a morning person. Step 1 is set a bedtime alarm. I don't think anyone talks about this as much as they should. Everyone talks about having a morning alarm. You probably have always your entire life had a morning alarm, but have you ever had a bedtime alarm? I think that a bedtime alarm is just as, if not way more important than a morning alarm. Your bedtime alarm can be at minimum an hour before you want to go to sleep. Sometimes I do 2 hours before I want to go to sleep, but I would say at minimum 1 hour before you want to go to sleep. Step 2 is probably going to be the hardest one of all these steps, but step 2 is to turn off all of your electronics. As soon as this bedtime alarm goes off, you turn off your TV, you close your computer, and then you can turn your phone on airplane mode, turn your phone off. I personally have a focus mode on my phone that is called wind down, and when I turn this on, all my notifications are turned off. Basically, everything is turned off on my phone. I know that's going to be so hard for a lot of us because we are so used to falling asleep with the TV on or scrolling social media until our eyes shut and our phones are just like laying beside us. But if you want to become a morning person, it is so important to turn off your electronics at least an hour before you want to go to bed. This is going to be the hardest, but it's also the most important. I promise this step is key. It completely changed my life. If I didn't do this, I wouldn't be able to be a morning person. Step 3 is pretty self-explanatory, but it's get ready for bed. And that can mean whatever that means for you. For me personally, I have a skincare routine. I brush my teeth. I oil my ends of my hair. I put my hair in a silk bonnet. I'm trying out mouth tape right now as well. So whatever it means for you, whatever you need to do to get ready for bed. Step 4 is something you probably have not done, but step 4 is to light candles. You can just light 1 or 2. Try not to do too many because you obviously have to blow them out before you go to bed, but light candles. And then step 5 is to turn off all your lights. Now, okay, why are we doing this? There's a hormone called melatonin, which is secreted by our pineal gland, and this hormone is completely in control of our sleep and wake cycles. When melatonin is high or when melatonin rises in our body, our brain waves slow down. And when our brain waves slow down, we are actually able to fall asleep because our analytical mind or our thinking brain, our conscious mind is turned off. So it'll actually allows us to fully get into a very relaxed state and fall asleep. So by turning off all the lights, this allows melatonin to rise in our body. Light can really block melatonin, especially blue light, which is why it's so important to turn off all your electronics. We have just our candles on, all of our lights are off, and all of our electronics are off. This is really going to help melatonin naturally rise so you can get a good night's sleep and actually feel tired when you go to sleep. Now, all our electronics are off, all of our lights are off, we have candles on. We're going to grab a journal or any type of like agenda, a book, whatever you write in, and you are going to time block your entire upcoming day. I mean hour by hour. This one step has been such a game changer for me. Some people like to plan their day in the morning, but for me, doing it the night before has helped tremendously with my sleep because I used to be the person that would stay up at night. My mind would be racing with all of the things that I had to do the next day. So planning my upcoming day the night before allows me to rest easily because I know exactly what I need to do the next day. I've already planned it out. I've dumped my brain completely of all my to-dos and all my worries. So it's already planned out and ready to go for when I wake up in the morning. And I personally time block my entire day hour by hour. So I start from exactly when I wake up in the morning to the end of my day. I call this my nighttime agenda, and to find more details about this nighttime agenda and about my morning routine, you can find it in my 21-day mindset program. The link for that is in the description. After you time block your entire upcoming day, I then write 3 things I was grateful for that happened in that day. I call this my end of day gratitude list. And you can just keep it really simple, just like 1-word answers. Sometimes I say like being a woman, the sun, coffee. Sometimes it's just really like simple things that I am so grateful for. I think it's so important to end your day in gratitude, because even if you've had a bad day, I'm sure there are 3 simple things that you can find to be grateful for. Even if it's just that you're healthy or that you're alive. These are huge things and huge blessings, and there's always something to be grateful for. To recap, step 6 was to time block your entire upcoming day, and then step 7 is the end of day gratitude list, which is just 3 things that you were grateful for that happened that day. The 8th step is to read if you have any time left. For some people, the hour from when they set the bedtime alarm to the completion of all those things, it may already be time for bed. So some of you may not have time for this, but if I ever do have any remaining time, I always read. And I always like to at least read 10 pages a night, but sometimes it's more if I had more time, if I finished everything quickly. Sometimes I can only do a couple pages, but I do always try and read before I go to bed. And that can be fiction, nonfiction. I always prefer nonfiction books. I'm a huge self-development junkie. I just love learning about self-development and psychology. 9 times out of 10, I am reading a nonfiction book, but that is totally up to you. Reading, and not just listening to an audiobook, but actually reading the physical, tangible book, is so important, because our brains cannot focus anymore. With scrolling and social media and just instant gratification, it is so hard for us to focus. Just training your brain and reading at least 10 pages a night, maybe less, but just always having the goal to read before bed is a huge game changer. Step 8 is to read. Step 9 is to blow out all your candles. This is a very important one. Please do not burn your house down. I like to have just one candle lit beside my bedside table, so it's really easy for me to just lean over and blow out. Please remember this step. Blow out your candles before you go to bed. The 10th and final step is to go to sleep, fall asleep, and I like to say a little nighttime prayer as I'm closing my eyes, just like in my head. And it is always very simple. It is just, thank you for this life, thank you for this day. And then I try and just think of all the little things that I'm grateful for, and really simple things. Like I say, like, oh, I'm so grateful for this bed and how comfy it is. I'm so grateful for these sheets and how comfy they are and how cozy I feel. And I'm so grateful for my body and my family and that I'm healthy. I just try and think of all these things as I'm just dozing off into sleep. I just think it's so important to end our day in gratitude, as gratitude is truly the highest vibrational state that we can be in. And being in a high vibe state is always going to attract more high vibrational things to us, and it's just going to allow us, I feel like, to wake up in the morning with that same energy. This is my 10-step nighttime routine that allowed me to become a morning person. Please try it out and let me know how it goes. The links to my mindset and movement program are in the description. If you like this video today, please like and subscribe. We are all about expanding into our highest selves on this channel using movement, mindset, and manifestation. I hope you have a beautiful day. Mwah.